So, any last wishes I can help fulfill before you head into battle? Life is fleeting, you know. That pretty face could be decorating some darkspawn spear this time tomorrow. Shall I take that quiet glare as a no? Oh, well, too bad.
You there, elf. Where's my armor? And why are you dressed so preposterously?
Don't answer her. She looks chastened, and that means others may be nearby.
Oh, you fear barbarians will swoop down upon you.
Yes, swooping is bad.
She'll put us all in the pot, she will. Just you watch.
If the pot's warmer than this forest, it'd be a nice change.
Mabari are at least as smart as your average tax collector.
Davith, step forward. I am sorry, Davith. Step forward, Jory.
But I have a wife, a child. Had I known...
There is no turning back.
No! You ask too much. There is no glory in this.
I am sorry. But the joining is not yet complete.
Right, my cooking will kill us. That's all I meant.
I also know at least 15 different poisons that grow right here in this marsh. Not that I would suggest 'tis at all related to cooking.
Just what would you do if your mother died?
Before or after I stopped laughing.
Right, very creepy. Forget I asked.
I can be friendly when I desire to. Alas, desiring to be more intelligent does not make it so.
Anyway, I thought we should talk about where we intend to go first. So let's talk about your mother for a moment.
I'd rather talk about your mother.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. And besides, isn't your mother a scary witch who lives in the middle of a forest? Much more interesting.
To you, perhaps. You would find the moss growing upon a stone interesting.
You know what's more interesting than that? Apostates, mages outside of the tower. That's illegal, you know.
You did not read that in a book somewhere, did you? I hope the small letters did not strain you overmuch.
Or we could not talk about your mother. That works for me. Mercy! I wouldn't have expected that from you.
I would also suggest that Alistair take his place in the cage.
Yes, that's what I would have expected.
Let us pretend that I was such a mage. What would you do to me?
I have no time to even think about such things right now.
Don't you ever talk? You know, make polite conversation just to put people at ease?
You mean that I should remark upon the weather before I cut off a man's head?
Never mind.
Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of, the elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
And you wish to do this in front of an audience, do you?
Oh, super. Excuse me while I begin projectile vomiting.
What is that, Alistair? We were not listening.
I knew that the day would come when someone would find the control rod. And not even a mage this time. Probably stumbled across the rod by accident, I suppose. Typical. Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought. Plus, his wife didn't want me indoors. She said there wasn't room for me. Hag.
How did a child survive that? The crater is still smoking. It's a boy. 5 fingers, 5 toes. That's all that matters to me. The Maker has answered our prayers. Let's go home, Marta, and raise the tyke as our own.
All right, that's enough. Let me crush a few body parts it can't possibly miss.
I'll take you right now, just like you wanted.
Do what you wish. I care not. Do not patronize me.
Finding no other way out, I return to work.
And people say that golems aren't very lively. Frozen again. Lovely.
We must stand and fight.
Resist. You must resist, else we are all lost.
The next time we encounter this demon, I suggest we crush its puny little head before it gets the chance to do so again. For now, we should find a way out of this place. Ah, it has found its way back to me. Excellent. Now it can watch me pop this demon's head like an overripe grape. Yes!
I'm quite impressed you're still alive. Unfortunately, that must mean you killed my servants.
Naturally, you're not frightened of us at all. Oh, no.
My men have scouted the tower. It's a mess, but the abominations are gone.
We crushed their heads. It was fun.
You are very thorough. I'm impressed.
Everyone's been fighting and dying.
Was anyone surprised? Anyone?
Apparently everyone seems to agree that a blight is the perfect time to start killing each other. Marvelous, really.
It's Thomas, yes? And who are these people with you? They are obviously not simple travelers.
Oh, good eye.
Not good enough. Murdoch said the same damn thing, and I didn't believe him either.
You were asking a great deal, you wretched little man.
I want a promise. I'll accept that. It's something to hope for, at least.
Oh, lovely. Shall we next begin rescuing kittens from trees?
Is this a promise we will not keep?
Let's hope not.
What's this?
I said nothing to you, human.
Go away. This isn't your home.
A small human. I say burn it out.
Ah! What are you doing? All right, I'll come out.
I would thank you for this, if I knew how. And I could deliver a much more satisfying answer to the Arishok's question if the Blight were ended. Don't you agree? I know. Then lead the way.
Were it not for his help, Isolde, I would not be here. I owe him my life.
And we crush the heads of rude women when we feel like it. Just so you know.
Where is my Connor?
I will find him for you, since I foolishly gave my word that I would. Leave me to it.
I'm taking these apprentices to Redcliffe. The first enchanter says you need every able-bodied mage for the war. They're young, but capable enough, as you saw.
Why are you here?
Excuse me?
Obviously you are no priestess, but shouldn't you be running a shop or a farm somewhere rather than fighting?
You think to tell me my place, Kunari? You are very brave.
It is not done.
But it is done. Do not be such a blind fool.
I speak the truth. It is not I who is blind.
Look around you, then. You see women throughout this land, fighters and mages both.
That has yet to be proven.
Which, that they fight? Or that they are female?
Either.
So I am not truly a woman to you, hmm? 'Tis good to know. So, are you going to continue staring at me as if I am covered in eels?
Eels would be something.
Prudery. How charming. I expected paranoia. This is much better. I prefer to be stared at lustfully, if at all.
Keep trying, then.
Oh? Then shall I demonstrate an act or two, and you may tell me hot or cold?
I'll save time. Cold.
You are a tease. Your man is dead. Get over it. I feared this day would come.
Nice place to store trade goods. You, of course, will get a sizable discount.
I will miss this place. It was infested with spirits and undead, but it had no birds. Not a single one of those malicious, spiteful little demons.
One wonders what this Guardian's purpose is. Be wary of his traps.
It seems that reflection on past mistakes is a constant preoccupation of the religious mind.
Is there any religion that does not thrive upon guilt, like a glutton at his lunch? No, I thought not.
Parshera, leave the past where it falls.
Shale, the stone giant. There is so little I can draw from you. I feel the distant echo of a soul, dormant for so long, now awake.
Good for you.
I stand in awe. Really?
What an odd thing to do with the honored dead. To store it in a pot. Bizarre.
Congratulations. You found a waste bin.
What do you estimate are the chances of success, Kunari?
For the Grey Warden, little to none.
So why does it follow? I do not risk death, but it does.
My mission is no different from the Grey Warden's. I must see this through to the end.
It would rather perish than give up its quest.
Indeed. There is honor to be salvaged in such a quest, no matter its chances.
Honor is a curious thing. It is far better to be practical.
What use is practicality when it leads to cowardice and emptiness? It is better to live well than to live.
An interesting theory.
There is worth in your life, Shale. There is value, but only if it is used.
A device meant to hold a spirit, perhaps? Such would be my guess. Though, what might be left of any spirit within after such a long time trapped?
It is warm. There is a soul within this stone. That much I can see.
Elf magic.
Twisted and savage, just as Witherfang himself is.
So the Dalish leader misled us.
You're not surprised.
No, just trying to picture his little elf head squishing. Ah, there we go.
You have carved a safe path through the forest. Safe enough for me to follow, anyhow.
I don't like this one. Can we not simply crush its head?
He wishes to see if we did his work for him. Is that not why you were here now, sorcerer?
Do not call me that, witch. I cannot defeat you.
Finish it. Kill him now.
Oh, somebody please kill somebody.
So, have you changed your mind, Sten? I dream about you and I, if you must know.
Don't you belong to the Grey Warden?
In fact, I belong to no one, and he would not mind. I am certain.
You would, even if I were interested in a small thing like you. The Kunari Act is unpleasant.
Unpleasant? Unpleasant how? Now I really am interested.
Deadly.
And what if I didn't mind? I enjoy a little animation.
You'd be less animated afterward.
It sounds as if I am arousing your passions already, my dear Sten.
Parshera, why do you pester me?
Because 'tis amusing, that is why.
Why does the Swamp Witch still travel with the Grey Wardens?
You are of the opinion that I should not be?
I am curious. It seems as if it has little reason to stay.
The same could be said of you. There is no control rod commanding your presence, Gollum.
I have no history and thus no purpose. The same cannot be said for the Swamp Witch. Its purpose is simply unknown.
Keep asking questions and I shall turn into a bird. I can do that.
I have no fear of birds.
Oh, I didn't say you were afraid. I would simply hover out of reach, hovering, waiting until...
Enough! I shall be silent.
You seem so deep in thought, my dear Sten. Thinking of me, perhaps? The two of us together at last?
Yes.
What did you say?
You will need armor, I think, and a helmet, and something to bite down on. How strong are human teeth?
How strong are my teeth?
Canary teeth can bite through leather, wood, even metal given time. Which reminds me, I may try to nuzzle.
Nuzzle?
If that happens, you'll need an iron pry bar. Heat it in a fire first, or it may not get my attention.
Perhaps it would be better if we did not proceed.
Are you certain? If it will satisfy your curiosity.
Yes. Yes, I think it is best.
I have never heard of a thing called a Crenare.
Then you have not been listening. You did not row to shore last year. We have been about for centuries.
I have listened. I have done little else, in fact. And yet I do not remember anyone mentioning such a Crenare in all my years in the village.
Relying on humans as a source of education is a fool's errand.
They are rather ignorant, aren't they? And feeble, at the best of times.
We have creatures on Parvolan that are similar. The humans call them monkeys. They are dull, cowardly vermin. They cry out shrilly when threatened and throw their own feces.
That is an excellent comparison. I wonder if they're related.
Possibly.
I do not recognize this one. Where did you find it? Every golem is precious to us. We'd pay a good sum for a new find.
I'd sooner jump into a pit of lava.
Unfortunate. Was there anything else?
God! By all the beards of my ancestors! How did you... Where did you come from? You made a hole in my wall! First you sent my daughter to the surface, and now this! It's gonna cost me a fortune, isn't it? I can't believe this! There better not be more of your troublemaking kind crawling in after you. I swear, this city is going to the criminals and the nuts.
Sure is. Why not?
Pardon?
Oh, I'd give you a roll. Why not?
A roll?
Aye, anytime. Preferably in the dark.
I suppose I should be flattered.
I'm not sure I have the equipment for that, but sure, whatever gets you working. Strange? Strange is your wife turning out to prefer the ladies, not living in a world without a bleeding ceiling. Well, let's get moving. We're losing, daylight.
About slavery.
It is profitable, so I am led to believe.
It is wrong. And it is no more right to make a slave out of a golem. I think no one understood how golems were made, Shale. Perhaps we should have suspected, but no one knew. Golems were like spells. Useful.
I am useful. I'm better than any fireball, that I'm sure of.
It's not the same thing. When this is over, I will make certain that the Circle of Magi knows the truth. Your people should not be treated as objects.
I have no people. I mentioned the slavery because I knew it would be bothered. No other reason.
But it still deserves to... You are a very perverse creature, you know this?
It almost wishes it had a control rod, no?
My thanks. I look more the part than you do.
The better question is who will pull the strings. Ah! Here we have the puppeteer.
Would that I could have helped you. That is your doing, however, and not mine. Fare you well, my love. Should you live past the morrow, I trust it will only be with regret.
Today, we save Denerim! Today, we avenge the death of my husband, your King Caelan! But most of all, today, we show the Grey Wardens that we remember and honor their sacrifice! For Ferelden! For the
the Archdemon is next, is it? I would not have thought I would say this, but I am glad I am going with it. Perhaps we are not completely doomed. I would. But I suppose there are certain obligations that go along with having a squishy companion made out of flesh. Let us try to get through this without my being rendered into so many pulverized pebbles, yes? Or eaten by the dragon. It might give passing a stone all new meaning, but I don't want to be there for it. Oh well, enough talking. There is a burning city to invade, or something.
Are you ready? The enemy waits. Shall we grant him the death he asks of us? Then let us bring this gift to the Archdemon. We will take the field and stand together to see our enemy fall.
I cannot help but notice I'm not going with you. That will make it rather difficult for me to kill the Archdemon, no? I see. Then let me say that it is an honor to have fought at your side, however briefly. Good luck, Grey Warden. May the Maker watch over you.
My friends, we are gathered here to pay our respects to the Grey Warden that saved us all. He gave his life to destroy the Blight, and that is a sacrifice we must never forget. It was no accident that he was there either. He was special, and each of us had our life touched by him in some way. Some of you were his friends and companions, some of you he helped. It was his word that put me on the throne. He barely knew me. I am grateful beyond measure. The Grey Wardens could not have asked for anyone finer.
He was here when I left. I can't believe the Wardens didn't kick him out.
Well, hey, if it isn't the recruit with a great rack. Now where's the giant cup? I'll gargle and spit. That's what I always say.
Then send word to the Grand Cleric that I wish this man shown leniency, Templar.
Yes, Your Majesty.
That wasn't necessary, but thank you.
Then if you have everything under control, I will need to take my leave.
From this moment forth, Oghren, you are a Grey Warden.
What's this, the sampler size? Are you trying to say something about my height? Huh?
This is the goblet we've always used.
Really? Not bad.
Maker help us all. You are a Grey Warden.
I have awaited this moment.
I'm gonna drink to you, Commander. Here's to the... Here's to the...
Tell me about your people, dwarf.
Well, elf, for starters. We do not like being called dwarf.
I apologize. Please tell me about your people, Oghren.
I'll tell you one thing. You bony human and elven types have nothing on our women.
You think I'm bony?
Yeah, look at that rump. You call that a rump? A man needs some cushion. You know, when your father took over the Jarl of Denerim's palace, he moved his bedroom next to the dungeon.
What are you talking about?
Sounds like someone liked to nip down for a bit of torture before bedtime.
Why are you telling me this?
Hey, everyone needs daddy issues. Just trying to help.
You're the first elf I've ever known. Do you feel honored?
Why would I feel honored?
Your actions will influence my opinions of your race. Forever.
Oh, thank you. I needed more anxiety.
Glad to help.
Hey, that's mine! That thing has my things! It's got its sallow, clammy hands all over my doodads, touching my junk! No one touches Ogren's junk and lives!
You're really, really grumpy.
You noticed.
I'm good at reading people.
Ah, so it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm terribly obvious about it. Sigrun, is it true that dwarves are born as rocks?
Born as rocks? I knew it!
That slimy, foul-breathed toadstool. Pink rocks are girls, gray ones are boys. Ah! And I almost believed him.
Who? Ogren? You believed Ogren?